And the haters can't stand it. Wow. Ryan Garcia gets the support from a very unlikely source, UFC President Dana White. Dana White tells all of the media that he believes Ryan Garcia is the recipient of a tainted substance. I guess we should get into that right about now. Like a funk show, brother. Check it out. Roll the clip.
What were your thoughts on Ryan Garcia? He was acting crazy up until the fight. Goes out there, beats Devin Haney, tested positive. What were your thoughts on this whole fiasco?
Well, first of all, none of that is any of my business. You know what I mean? It's not my card. It's not my whatever. But I think that with all, you know, I hate talking about drug testing, but with all of our knowledge that we have in the years that we've been drug testing, we believe the people who handle the drug testing that he had tainted, he took a tainted supplement and that he did not cheat. And, you know, if he had the right people around him and had the right, you know, that wouldn't have happened. We're pretty confident it was a tainted supplement. I got no skin in this game. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's not my fight. It's not none of my business and not my place to even talk about it. But from what my team tells me, and these guys are the f***ing best, tainted supplement.
So you guys heard it from UFC President Dana White. Now, it doesn't mean that Dana White's word is law. However, there are media cameras rolling, and let's break down what you guys just heard. So first of all, it literally was a press conference, a post-fight press conference for Alex Pereira's fight. Potan had a vicious head kick knockout. Well, it was followed by punches, but it was all started from a head kick. Vicious stuff there. And it literally had nothing to do with Ryan Garcia. So right off the bat, that goes to show you that Ryan Garcia is a big deal, because randomly at a UFC event, they're bringing up Ryan Garcia in the lines of questioning. Now, I did like that Dana White said, you know, I don't really like getting into the drug testing stuff. And he did say that it's none of my business. Like, I'm a UFC guy and UFC president. I haven't crossed over to boxing like that. Ryan Garcia's business is none of mine. The reporter or whoever asked the question said something to the effect of Ryan Garcia was acting many. He was acting very crazy and erratic, yada, yada, yada. What are your thoughts on it? So again, it just shows you the celebrity of Ryan Garcia. You got people in the MMA who are paying attention to what's going on. Now, Dana White, he says, basically, I don't have any skin in the game, meaning I don't have a dog in the race. I don't have a horse in the race. This is not my deal. I have no reason to, you know, sway to this side. I have no reason to justify this or not justify this. This is not my issue. This is not like UFC issue. He said, that being said, and I don't really like talking about this drug test stuff, but since he was being asked the question, I guess he honored them with the response. And he said, that being said, we got the best people in the business, and we believe that it was a tainted supplement. Boom. Wow. So he says, we got the best people in the business, you know, that work with all the agencies, yada, yada, yada. And based on all the facts that they've heard, he said his team is saying that they truly believe that Ryan Garcia didn't go into the Devin Haney fight knowingly, intentionally, premeditatedly cheating, but more so it was a tainted substance, yada, yada, yada. Now, again, it doesn't change anything. Ryan Garcia is still suspended. You're still going to have people who say, oh, that's BS. Dana White doesn't know. UFC doesn't know. He's just trying to vouch for Ryan Garcia. Whatever people are trying to say. But the reason why it is still important, henceforth me making this video, is because you had cameras rolling at a media day. The clip will go viral. And for Ryan, this is positive, because at this point, he's already suspended. He can't come back until April of 2025. But when he gets people like Dana White in combat sports and making a bold statement like, hey, I got people in the game, the best, people. And with all the facts that have been laid out, we believe Ryan Garcia actually did have a tainted supplement. And they've dealt with this in the UFC. Guys like Sean O'Malley tested positive for Ostarine, John Jones, blah, 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 right? So he's saying his team believes that it was a contaminated substance or supplement. Again, why is this good for Ryan Garcia? Listen, because perception is reality. The more conspiracy theories that sound realistic and plausible, the more people that are high profile that say, hey, Ryan Garcia, like I did a video about it. Andre Durrell, he said that Devin Haney didn't lose because of Ostarine. He believes that Devin Haney lost because he couldn't stay out the way of the left hook. You have Floyd Schofield's dad said pretty much the same thing. Skills pay the bills, and even if a guy is on a supplement, banned or not, you're gonna know how to deal with that, and it's not gonna be the end all be all. So anytime people are saying these things like, hey, Ryan didn't have enough Ostarine in his system for that to really have been the reason, or now Dana White is giving a statement like that, and it's almost like a job when you're applying for a job and you have references and you have these contacts and the people are speaking good words for you. It doesn't mean you'll get the job, but it definitely could help if that employer reaches out to your references and, hey, how was Ego as a worker? And they give me a good marks and things like that. So I think Dana White saying this is huge because this is, again, the public opinion. The public opinion, people perception, this clip's gonna get out. When people see this, when people hear this, then it just gives somewhat credence to what Ryan Garcia has said and maintained from the beginning, that he's the victim of a contaminated substance. Whether some people believe it or not, because I understand some people are gonna believe it, some people aren't gonna believe it. But mark my words, the more people and testimonies you get like this, the more it helps Ryan Garcia in his bounce back whenever he's free to come back to boxing. And it just proves that I'm the greatest, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. It proves these things. I told you, this fight was a bad idea. It was rushed. The promotion was bonkers and not in a good way. It was a lose-lose situation for Devin Haney, which is what I said from the beginning. People didn't want to believe me, but now you believe me. And again, with people like Dana White speaking up, it just makes it look like Devin Haney was outgunned and outmatched, like this wasn't intentional. And again, you have that level of doubt that some people will now have, because even myself, I told you I deal with all of these things in boxing on a case-by-case basis. And one thing that always stood out to me that was rather weird was the mere fact that Ryan passed all of his drug tests except for the day before the fight and the day of the fight, which is the hottest point to be juicing or trying to get on something. And even Dana White said if he had the right people around him, he still wouldn't have went to that. Because again, this is why Ryan has been suspended. There are ways so you can, because you're responsible for what's in your body. Strict liability means you assume the responsibility for what's in your body, unless you have some story where you were kidnapped and tortured and then they injected you with some stuff, which that would be, you wouldn't even be fighting if all that happened. But with strict liability, it's still going to be your fault. At the end of the day, that's basically what Ryan Garcia has been suspended for. You're responsible no matter what, because they do have programs where you can send your supplements in where they can test them for you to make sure that they're absolutely clean so you don't flag. So Ryan, being a multimillionaire, he should have thought of those things. Ryan very well could have been in a situation where he was trying to cut a lot of weight late because he probably BS'd in camp, and somehow, some way, he came into the possession of these supplements and they had a banned substance in it. And the thing that I don't understand, a lot of people seem to have issues with, is who knows who laced some supplements with Ostarine, right? That's the biggest thing. Is it's kind of hard because who knows who had access to these supplements? It could have been someone on Ryan's team. It could have been, they're saying Ryan's blaming Scooter. Ryan at one point said it was from the company, it was contaminated. I don't know. So I don't know how they got laced with the Ostarine. I guess that's for Ryan and the lawyers if Devin Haney decides to sue. But this whole thing has been a mess from the beginning, like I told you, and it just keeps getting worse. And it does hurt, in my opinion, Devin Haney and the Haneys worse when you have people like Dana White who's saying stuff like that, saying he does believe, and he's basically defending Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia seen this and he thanked Dana White on social media. So people are gonna see the clip, they're gonna see my video, and it gives people that perception that I mentioned earlier, where some people are like, hey, okay, even Dana White saying he believes it could be a contaminated supplement. So that loss that was overturned is gonna have people on the fence. That's the point I'm making. It's gonna have people on the fence. Some people are gonna be like, nah, I know Ryan's a cheater, he cheated, la 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 la. He purposely did this, he didn't think he could beat Devin Haney. But then with all the people giving their testimonials, like Dana White, is giving Ryan Garcia just a bit more power because it's casting a doubt. It's creating that shadow of a doubt. Like, hey, what if this kid didn't know that Ostarine was in his system and he just entered the fight and that's what would have happened? So Ryan getting the benefit of the doubt from heavy hitters like Dana White does become important. But again, I told you and predicted all this stuff. Shouldn't be a surprise to any of you. I was right yet again. And then it's just like the other thing that's kind of forced is like Devin Haney said, I don't want to hear no excuses. After I beat this guy, I trained hard for this. And you got to feel for him, because imagine training like he does and training hard for a big event, and then somebody is making it the laughing stock of boxing and attracting like a non-boxing audience at that's probably not going to commit to support boxing monetarily, and you trained all hard. So you got to feel bad for that. I feel bad for anybody, like someone trained hard in the camp and then their opponent misses weight, they fight get canceled or something, or they pop dirty. I feel bad for the opponent. But Devin Haney, he's saying like, oh man, y'all got to give me credit. Ryan is making it super hard to give you a lot of credit based on how he's acting. He's acting like literally insane. So it's like he's trying to burn the money. That's what Ryan is acting like. It's too erratic. Some people think it's true and that's his personality. Some people think he's on drugs. Some people think he's like anxiety or anxious. But some people think it's skullduggery. That's why I said I don't like the fight for Devin Haney, because at this point, I really don't see the upside. You'll see on Saturday. You will see. If the fight makes it, if we make it to Saturday, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Come back to the channel. The way it plays out, I truly believe the world of boxing is going to be embarrassed. The world of boxing, when it plays out, is going to be like, what did I waste my time on? What did I invest my time on when it comes to that? I just have that feeling. I have a feeling like it's going to basically leave fans talking / disappointed somewhere in there. I don't know exactly how it plays out, but I don't think it'll be like the sport of boxing won and grew crazy. Ryan knocks out Devin. controversy, disqualification. I mean, just look at the potential options for a fight.